Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go, episode number 37 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? This is Bobby Puckett. Here with me in studio again this week is Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, man. I've been vacationing.
Yeah.
I've had a good time.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week. I said that's why we had a fill-in with Jackson, because Flash and his wife and his grandson went to Myrtle Beach and Gatlinburg and here, there, everywhere in between.
Yeah, I want to thank Jackson for filling in for me, too. He did a heck of a job.
Yeah, Jackson, he's a very knowledgeable kid.
Oh, yeah.
This week's guest, before I forget, because I always seem to forget the guest, but this week's guest, listen at your own discretion.
Yeah, you might want to on this one.
It is a four-time Tazwell Speedway track champion, one-time 411 track champion, sitting third currently in the Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series points. David Clark, the East Tennessee bad boy, so to speak.
Yeah.
But listen at your own discretion. This is a really fun interview. David, quite colorful language.
Oh yeah.
So we get along just fine.
Yeah.
But David took time a few weeks ago back when we were at Volunteer. I think it was Volunteer Speedway.
It was a Volunteer Speedway.
And David sat down and we discussed how and why he's running the modifieds or open wheels, as they call them. But really good interview.
Yeah.
Each and every week, we always talk about our sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Diesel Boys LLC. If you need anything diesel truck, automotive related, they have a automotive shop right there in Southern Indiana. So get a hold of Brandon and the boys at Diesel Boy. They will get you going. They do truck deletes, anything diesel automotive repair. Our deep dives each and every week has been presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. If you need anything, pulling trucks, race cars, farm tractors, semi-trucks, any type of clutch you need, get a hold of Chris and the guys at Kentucky Clutch, and they'll get you taken care of. Crash of the Week being brought to you by D.O. Handyman and Remodeling. This week, D.O. Handyman, we could do about 10 crashes of the week. Because they were, some shit was tore up, so to speak, this week. But our Crash of the Week is presented by D.O. Handyman and Remodeling. David and the guys at D.O. Handyman, they do decks right now, especially like this time of year, decks, windows, vinyl, but anything handyman related around the house that you need help with, get a hold of David at 812-989-5002. And our Slider of the Week being presented each and every week by Walt at Speed Decals. Walt's been a continuous sponsor since day one. If you need signs, vehicle lettering, yard sale signs made, truck wraps, anything you need, Walt can take care of you over any of your vinyl needs whatsoever. We say this each and every week. Thank you to our sponsors, but most importantly, thank you for considering our sponsors when you need that type of work. So please help the guys who help us. All right, Flash.
Yeah.
First off, before we get into the news of the week, how was your vacation?
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Weather was good?
Yeah. Weather was perfect every night, except for the last night we were at the islands in Pigeon Forge. I don't know if anybody knows that the parking lot is about a mile away where you have to park at. Well, we noticed a thunderstorm coming, but we didn't decide to leave till it was too late. So we all three got drowned, and so we just went back and got in the pool. So
well, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, it was fun though. But we had great weather all the way up till the end.
Yeah, I got drowned at the racetrack this weekend. So
I got to watch the races in the mountains and at the ocean, so on flow. So
well, that is a good part about streaming.
Yeah.
So the news of the week, what we're gonna get to this show. Weather takes the Indiana Midget Week point lead going into the final night tonight.
Yeah.
Mother Nature has got the point lead. Just a slight one over Kel Drake, but she does have the points lead. Yep. She's got 3 feature wins of the 5 events. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. Superman, still doing Superman things. JD, Jonathan Davenport, dominates the dream.
Yeah.
Racers calling out other racers, Flash. We had a couple of instances where racers was not too happy with his other competitors.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that. And fans and racers bitching and complaining. We're going to talk about that because there's coming from the dream. And I wanted to just say it was a late model issue, but then I scrolled through Facebook and it's an issue everywhere. Yeah. So that's something else we're going to talk about. And this one right here is really cool. We got 2 locals that knock off the professionals. 2 local race car drivers knock off professionals, so we're going to get into that. Upcoming events, it's that time of the year again, Flash. Starting next week, you got racing every night of the week. Monday is your off day.
Yeah.
Racing every night of the week because the Hell Tour begins. So
Yep.
we have 28 races in the next 33 days, all on television.
Yeah.
And not to even mention that in upcoming events. I mean, High Limit's got a bunch of stuff coming up. There's 4 or 5 viewing options every night of the week for the rest. Basically, because summer's here.
Yeah.
Until summer's over.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to get into. And everybody's raving about the Racetrack Spotlight. I didn't realize it was going to be that big of a hit, but each and every week we get between 10 to 50 comments of Racetrack Spotlight. That's cool. I want to check this place out. Or even, hey, what about this track? Have you been to this place? I'm thinking about going here. Tell me what you do or don't like. So another Racetrack Spotlight. That's kind of just become a segment by accident.
Yeah.
So, but first things first, we're gonna get started off. So, Mike Marlar, who I really respect, I think Mike Marlar is one of the good guys in racing.
Yeah.
He went on a little bit of a tirade because of inverts at Eldora, and the reason why I'm bringing this up first is because every time we have a promoter or a racer on, I always kind of just ask them, like, what do you think about inverts? And 9 times out of 10, all the racers say the same thing.
Yeah.
They hate them. They dislike them. They don't like them. Fair enough, because they're the ones racing. And they're the ones spending the money.
Right.
So I get that. But Mike Marlar goes on and makes a Facebook post because he was the fastest in his group. And there's a rough start, and he went in a corner and tore shit up. Happens everywhere in the country. Inverts, no inverts, it don't matter. That's just part of racing.
It's just the way it goes.
And he makes a big, long Facebook post how he thinks that the drivers and the cars are fast enough that you shouldn't be penalized, for working hard. One thing I want to say about that. You're racing at Eldora Speedway for $100,000 to win.
Yeah.
Your preliminary nights are paying $30,000 to win.
Yep.
So I don't care if they tell you got to start the race on 3 wheels.
Yeah.
You like it, you shut the hell up, and you start the race on 3 wheels.
Yeah.
Because of the money that you're racing for, the racers are starting to seem entitled.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm feeling about too. They're almost getting to where, you should do this for me no matter what, Yeah,
like it's gonna be here, guys. First off, all racers. I know there's guys that do this for a living. I know there's team owners that are spending millions of dollars a year.
Right.
I get all that. I understand how much it costs to go up and down the road. I understand, like in a dirt late model, if you get into somebody and tear their nose off, if you don't bend up a shock or wheel, just nose alone is $2,500.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. But racing is a form of entertainment. Without the fans, there is no racing. Period whatsoever. It doesn't matter if they're on flow.
Yeah.
If the fans are watching on flow, because when COVID was here, there was a few races that happened without fans.
Yeah.
And racetracks are still trying to recover from that.
Yeah.
And that was with TV money. You are there to entertain the fans. That's just is what it is. Eldora's always had inverts.
Yeah.
Always. And John, and we're going to talk about it in results and stuff, but Jonathan Davenport started 12th or 13th and won the Dirt Late Model Dream 100-lap race.
Yeah.
And lapped all the way up to 10th.
Yeah. So
if he started on the pole, he would have lapped the complete field.
Yeah.
It would, and then everybody had been telling us how terrible of a race it is. But now we got people saying, well, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The race was good.
That was me.
Yeah. The race was good. Well, it was good because the faster cars had to start.
You had to start in the middle to the back. Or
Yeah.
Pierce started like 8th, I think, or 9th. And
and Hoffman started 20th.
Yeah.
But, guys, inverts is just part of the game. USAC, I think, has the best format. They know right off the bat they're inverting 6.
Yeah.
You got to run top 4 in your feature or in your heat to make it. And if you run top 4, guess what? You get your time back.
Yeah.
So, you're not being penalized.
Right.
And it puts on a better race. So, but there is a 6-car invert in the feature too. So if you're the fast qualifier in USAC, you start 6th in your heat. If you run top 4, you're going to start 6th in the feature.
Yeah.
If you got to go to the B main, the best you can start 16th. So, I don't understand why all the entitlement in the racing. And
especially when it's been like that forever at Eldora too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you go there, you know how it's going to be.
And here's the thing. I'm not even bitching at Mike Marlar because as far as dirt late model racers, he's one of the guys I really like the most.
Yeah.
He takes time for the fans. He's always doing stuff with his dad. He's hauling his dad's car across the country to go race.
Right.
He's one of those guys that took an open trailer and went and won the Hillbilly 100. So I'm a big fan of Mike Marlar.
Yeah.
Like I'm not shitting on Mike Marlar. It's just that's been something that's been said over the last 6 weeks, every week by somebody.
Right.
So he's the one that's going to catch the brunt of it because he said it at one of the Crown Jewels, one of the biggest events.
Right.
But guys, quit bitching about the inverts. It makes the racing better. People go there to see passing. So just, I don't know. It's like if it was up to me, it's better than draw and redraw.
Yeah.
I mean, because all the IMCA guys, nobody bitches about it. They draw and redraw.
I'd love to see redraw myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I think somebody needs to put a race on like that. I don't know how people show up, but it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, so let's stop with all the bitching because the dirt late model world's got a couple personalities.
Yeah.
They got a couple guys like Brandon Overton to say what he thinks.
Yeah.
Turbo,
Yeah.
like him or not, he says what he thinks. Bobby Pierce caught some flack this weekend because he didn't do an interview.
Yeah.
And another thing on that, he didn't do the interview. It wasn't because he was a sore loser.
Right.
Because for the 4 hours before that race, they're talking about rain's coming.
They didn't think they was going to get the first race in. Those guys waited all night to get the second race in. And then they got the show through fast enough to get the second race completed too. And then people still have to work on their cars after that. I think a lot of fans don't realize what goes into.
Yeah.
I mean, they think the car just automatically fixes itself, and it doesn't. I mean,
and Pierce tore up all kinds of shit.
50 laps at Eldora is hard on the car, no matter if the track's smooth or slick, or like that night it was, cushion.
Or if somebody flips and knocks your fuel cell out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what they had to do. So going forwards, let's in the racing world, racing community, let's just not try to sound so entitled.
I mean, it's $100,000 to win and $6,000 to start.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't race for $6,000 most nights in any regular shows around anywhere. So
yeah. So and I get being mad because you got your shit tore up. I get that. But that's just part of it. I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yep.
So that was my little not rant, but I just get so tired of hearing about inverts. You guys aren't very glad I don't run a series or a national event. That's all I'm saying. Just because well, first off, I probably would have a bunch of guys running with us. They'd be like, I'll piss on it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be glad I don't run it because I'll just put it out there. You'd have to earn the victory. Let's get started with Indiana Midget Week. The final Midget Week race is going on this evening at Kokomo. As of now, it's still on. I think they're working on the track. So final Midget. But first 2 nights of Midget Week was in. They got in. So Circle City. Me and my wife went up to Circle City. I think it was Tuesday night now. Yeah, it was Tuesday night. Went to Circle City. They had 39 midgets and 37 sprint cars. Kel Drake took the midget win over Kevin Thomas Jr. and Carter Scarf. I can't never say his name. Carter Sarf.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
I think
Sarf.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. But Kel Drake took the win. He started 9th and took the win. And KTJ was kind of ripped out and was just going. And he really... Kel Drake kind of screwed up in lap traffic and bent the cars real sideways in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And ran down the track and gained like 9 car lengths on the lap that he screwed up. so he started running every lap. He luckily figured something out, and then by the end it was gone.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if it was Jacob Denning or Drake Edwards. One of them started running the same line behind him. But he just started doing like 3 laps to go, so he got up to like 4th or 5th. But Kel Drake took the win over Kevin Thomas Jr. and Carter Scarf. I think. Yeah, that's another name I'm going to butcher.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the show of the night. You would think a guy starting 9th and won the midget race. You're like, okay, that's good. No, the show of the night came in the sprint cars when Shane Cottle, Justin Grant, and Trey Osborne went at it for 25 laps. Shane Cottle started 10th and took the win. This is where I know people probably seen it going around, but there was a quote out there, a little video clip it, and for the people that didn't see the race, because I was at the track and I seen it. And then when I come back to watch the video at home, it didn't show because they were painting through the field, so it didn't really show the incident that Cottle was referring to.
Oh yeah.
But during the race, what happened was the bottom in 1 and 2 was the only thing there was. There was nothing in 3 and 4.
Right.
In 1 and 2, 3 and 4, you had a top and a bottom. Well, Shane Cottle doing Shane Cottle things. He's rolling the bottom and he's picking up plenty of momentum. Well, Grant rips the top in 3 and 4 and then comes down to the bottom in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, he does that for 7, 8 laps. Well, Cottle got like rode up on him, so Grant tried to rip the top in 1 and 2, and when he did, he lost all of his momentum.
Yeah.
Well, Cottle clipped the tire coming off the bottom and kind of wheelied up. When he did, they're going down the backstretch. Grant just slams the door on Cottle and just like turns across his nose and trying to get to the bottom,
right?
Because trying to break his momentum. So as they come off the corner and going down the straightaway, Cottle's there, and he just doesn't give him any room. I mean, Cottle's got the line, so they go in the corner. Grant kind of squeezes him on the top again and gets in front of him. Well, going down the backstretch, Cottle just, as we call sports drone, he just busted him in the ass and turned underneath him and went on.
Yeah.
They come down the front stretch. Then Grant like jumps his left rear. The camera picks that up.
Yeah.
Grant, he runs in there and tries to do the same thing, but he hits him in the wheel, not the back bumper.
Right.
And go on and win the race. Cottle goes on and wins the race. And in the victory lane, Shane Cottle he's a grumpy old man anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the throttle, but he just I don't think he likes the kids he's racing with anymore. I just don't think so either. I don't think he likes the younger group of kids because his exact words was, Grant, and most time they don't call him out by their name.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Usually they'll call him out by the number or the driver. He won't say his name. But his exact words was, Grant's racing like a little bitch. So I'm just going to have to bust his ass. Yeah. I'm about to go down there and whoop his ass. So, and it may have worked because the next night, Grant didn't pull the sprint car out. I guess he thought, he's a little pissed. I'm going to let him be.
Calm down a little bit. Huh?
But yeah, we're going to let the throttle calm down. But in Justin Grant's defense, he was leading the race, running 2 different lines.
Right.
The guy showed him his nose. And he did try to do what he had to do to keep the lead.
Right.
In Cottle's defense, Grant did turn across him, and Cottle gave him all the room in the world, so he just popped him in the ass.
Yeah.
So it's just highly entertaining race. Both, they came from 10th and 9th, both feature wins.
Yeah.
Because of inverts.
Yeah.
Because of inverts.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was a really good show up there at Circle City Tuesday night. Got home at a decent hour. Wasn't super late, like 12:30 or so, with a 2-hour drive. That's not bad at all. And Wednesday night, Paragon, that was a little bit of a stroke for me to get to. And Wednesday night, we had Paragon was on, the Flow Night in America was on, and the High Limit Race was on. So it's tough to get to Paragon on a Wednesday night because I worked till 5. So we just stayed home and watched them on TV. And there was no discussing who was going to win it. Jacob Denny just flat out put an ass kicking down.
He was just on cruise control.
Yeah, Jacob Denny was in another zone. He took the win over Justin Grant and Kel Drake. So Kel Drake was leading points with his first and third finish going into Kokomo, but I think he's in second because Mother Nature picked up 3 feature wins in a row.
Yeah.
So Thursday night it got rained out at Lincoln Park Speedway. Friday night at Bloomington got rained out. And then Saturday at Tri-State got rained out. So Indiana Midget Week turned into Indiana Midget 3 days.
Yeah.
And another thing, I've seen some fans bitching about USAC canceling. So they canceled Wednesday or Thursday because the rain came in. Fans bitching mad as hell. So Friday, Bloomington's trying to get the race in.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. But watching the radar, you could tell the rain was coming.
Yeah.
So Bloomington was going to lose their ass because I've seen pictures of Bloomington. It was very, very thin.
Yeah.
We were actually on our way to Bloomington and we looked at the radar and I decided, well, actually Tanya made the decision. She said, the closest way we're going to get any races in is Circle City.
Yeah.
So we went to Circle City Friday night. Got there. It sprinkled. They got all the qualifying in, got the heat races in, and it opened up, dumped a shower on. Flash, I mean, it split. The rain split down 465.
Oh yeah.
The whole time. I mean, it was wide open. You could see daylight. The end of it hooked and dumped about an inch of rain on the racetrack in like 5 minutes, and that was all she wrote. But that was the reason why you try. Like I went to the racetrack knowing that there's a good chance rain, and we were getting rained out. And as I'm coming home, I see people, they're bitching. Well, USAC drug us up here. I want a refund. I'm like, you were just bitching the night before that they canceled too early.
Yeah.
Now they try to get the race in. You're mad as hell. You want your $60 back. Yeah. I'm not even going to get on the weather tirade, but I just do not understand.
Yeah.
Like, I drove 2 hours. I drove, it says 125 miles up there.
Yep.
So I drove 250 miles on a Friday night after I got off work.
Yeah.
Knowing that
you might get
it was 70% chance that it wasn't going to happen. But if it would have split, it would have been good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I seen a quote somebody put on. It was from Ray Gotti and his Victory Lane. So I'm going to use this quote for every time I go to the races. He said, if we all listen to the weatherman, we never race a damn race.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's what Ray Gotti said. So, but yeah, let's quit bitching all the time. I mean, if I don't know, I've said it before, and I'm gonna start.
Just go have fun.
I'm gonna start sounding like a broken record if I keep saying it. But if what you supposedly enjoy so much, brings you enough misery that you want to bitch about it on social media, find something else to do. Yeah. I mean, just go do something else. Take up crocheting. Do something. I mean, you can't bitch it. I mean, if you screw up crocheting, it's between you and the needle. Yeah. Or whatever it's called. I don't know if that's even called a needle. Whatever. But I mean, so scratch that. I just got off topic because we jumped off topic a little bit. Yeah. But sprint cars, there was 40 sprint cars there at Paragon, and our buddy Cameron LaRose took the win over Jordan Kinzer and Kevin Thomas Jr. Yeah. And Cameron Verlo, I can't even say his damn name.
LaRose. Yeah.
LaRose.
Yeah.
Cameron LaRose. Drove a hell of a race.
Yeah, he got up on the wheel the last 4 or 5 laps there.
Well, and another thing I was going to say, shout out to Ricky Lewis and his team. Friday night at Circle City, the car was terrible. Yeah. And after the feature, they went in and they noticed the chassis was tweaked. So doing Ricky Lewis things, like the way Ricky Lewis does stuff. Yeah. Him and Cowboy. Yeah. They took the car completely apart, got a new frame, dropped off to him by the guys over at Indy Race Parts. They dropped off a new DRC. And Ricky Lewis doing Ricky Lewis things. He's not even going to go back to the shop. They worked in the parking lot of Circle City Raceway and plumbed it, wired it, put an engine, transmission, built a complete car overnight. Got done about 10 in the morning. Yeah. And took a few hour nap, and then drove to Paragon Speedway and damn near won the feature from 9th place. He started 9th, and he showed Cameron LaRose the line. Yeah. He just sailed it in way too hard when he got there. Yeah. And Cameron LaRose took the victory, and I was happy to see that because a good kid that moved here from out west and living the dream, and it was good to see Cameron pick up the victory. Also Wednesday night, Flow Racing in America, night at Eldora. 85 Super Late models signed in. Flash, I got a question for you. And maybe I didn't really pay too much of attention, but if they had 97 cars between, for the dream, how come the other 10 guys didn't go ahead and race the first night?
I don't know.
I mean, $20,000 to win.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like to see how your car,
Yeah, so it was a free practice night.
Right, pretty much.
So I mean, I was just wondering that.
I don't understand. I mean, it could be tires. Could be expenses. I don't know, and maybe they just plan on
racing 3 nights.
Stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you probably do have to have a full set of tires. It's probably $3,000 to run that race.
Yeah, but I know, but if you're
going
to run for $100,000, and eventually I would try to spend that $3,000.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. You get an extra night practice, or figure, because the track. It seems like every time they do this, the track's different. At least two nights is different than what it's going to be. So you at least have a setup for whatever the track's looking like it's going to end up as.
and there were some complaints about Eldora's track surface Wednesday night, but it wasn't a little dusty. Yes, it was. Yeah. But they had so much rain the week before
Right.
And coming, if they didn't get a base down, they weren't going to race this weekend. So I thought Eldora did a sensational job of getting the races in, speeding the programs along. I mean, hat shake to Eldora for taking care of business on a weekend that, you know, quite frankly, if you cancel 2 nights, you're still going to make quite a bit of money. Yeah. So, you know, they did their part.
Yeah. And a lot of people take their vacations that week too. So I mean, it was good that they tried to get everything, made sure they tried to get everything in they could, you know, because a lot of people plan their vacations around Eldora. Yeah.
Well, Bobby Pierce took advantage of it. He started 6th and took the win over Hudson O'Neill and Dale McDowell. 50 laps, $20,000 to win. When this night was over, I pretty much thought, all right, guys.
Yeah.
Because the way the track was, so that's basically how it's going to be Saturday. So I kind of figured it was just going to be a Bobby Pierce walk in the park all week. Come to find out, the cars flipping, landing on top of him, all kinds of other stuff. It wasn't quite a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So, but he still made some pretty good money this weekend.
Yeah. He did good.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce still made some pretty good money. But so Bobby Pierce took the win Wednesday night. There at Eldora, like I said, 85 Super Late models. About best you could ask for on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It looked like the crowd was a little light Wednesday night.
That's what I thought too.
But I couldn't tell because at Eldora,
nobody ever sits in those first 20, 15 rows on the front hardly, unless they have to.
Unless it's the dream night. Yeah. So
unless it's a dream night. So.
But I really couldn't tell because, I mean, honestly, because the dust was, you know, flying. So I couldn't really tell how the hillside was.
Right.
But they got it in, and that's all that matters. And then Wednesday night there was one more race at the high limit. It was at Red Cedar Raceway. Did you get to see this at all, Flash?
No, I didn't get to see.
Red Cedar Raceway on my bucket list of gots to go check this place out.
Oh yeah.
Red Cedar Raceway was badass. And it's one of the most famous hometowns of all of late model racing. You know, it's in Menominee, Wisconsin, home of Jimmy Mars.
Oh yeah.
So, but Red Cedar Raceway, man, it is badass. It was a nice race. I mean, Rico Avery took the win over Kyle Larson and Tanner Thorson. Larson started on the pole. Avery started 4th. About 13 laps to go. Avery got by Larson, and Larson kind of screwed up on the top a little bit, and Avery got by a straightaway lead, and Larson starts running down Rico, and just, I mean, banging the cushion in 3 and 4. Yeah. He's gaining 6 or 7 car lengths a lap, and he catches him as they got the white flag. I mean, he's got a run on him to throw a Hail Mary, and the lap car, you know, they were dicing through traffic.
Right.
And Larson, as he went to throw the Hail Mary, the lap car was trying to get out of Rico's way. So he had to pedal up the track behind him. And Rico got the win. But Usbury have a classic finish. But Red Cedar Raceway, though, is a check mark of places that we need to go.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night, we had preliminaries at the Dream. The feature ended up being run Friday, but we're still going to do this Thursday night, so I keep everything in line. If not, I'd really be all screwed up. But Thursday night, first off, high limit was at 141 Raceway in Wisconsin, and this is local guy number 1. Travis Arnaz. I think that's how you say it. Arnaz. Travis Arnaz started 5th and took the win over Tanner Thorson and Bill Baylog. Tanner Thorson started 9th and ran 2nd. But Travis Arnaz, diesel mechanic by day, $30,000 winner by night.
Yeah.
Took the win. And
that was pretty awesome.
Well, the cool thing about this is it's his 51st 410 sprint car start.
Yeah. That's not a lot, really.
Two seasons.
Yeah.
2 seasons. He started racing like 7 years ago in front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Went to Sport Mod, raced 360 for a year or so, and now he's in the 410 sprint cars.
That was a pretty cool story he's telling during his interview.
Yeah, he travels a little bit with the IRA series, but it was his home track, and that's I think he's only won I think 20 features in his career.
Yeah.
So that was pretty badass to see him. And he went swimming, and I like Tony Laporte asking, "What about the fire suit?" He said, "Well, I had a new fire suit on order, but I had to cancel it because I needed some money for the engine because we had motor problems a few weeks ago. But I'm getting a new fire suit now."
Yeah.
But it was good to see. I mean, that Chase Rodman said he thinks that's the biggest upset in sprint car racing history on a national tour.
Yeah.
He was going back. There's a couple with the Outlaws back in the day, but those were guys who had 100, 200 victories.
Yeah.
This guy just started racing 410 sprint cars.
Right.
But slow rode the bottom. And it was a good race.
Yeah.
It was a really good race. So, but hats off to him. And the other local that took the win was Dream Night 1 preliminaries. It actually happened Friday evening after the Friday preliminaries.
Yeah.
But Dream Night 1, local hot shoe. If you've been to racing at the Florence Speedway or anywhere in Kentucky and Southern Indiana, Southern Ohio, you know this name. It's a household name. But to the national dirt late model world, it's not a household name, and it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sooner rather than later. But Josh Rice took the win, started fifth, took the win over Bobby Pierce and Tyler Erb. So this is gonna be the slider of the week. This feature is gonna be the slider of the week and the crash of the week. So we're gonna talk about both of them.
Right.
But slider of the week presented by Walt at Speed Decals goes to Josh Rice for the slide job that he threw on Bobby Pierce when he took the lead. And not only did he take the lead throwing the slider, hence slider of the week, he turned down the track and ran the bottom for a guy that never runs the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
He's picked up 2 feature wins in a row. $10,000 last weekend at Brownstown, running around the bottom, and $30,000 at Eldora. But he picked this one up, ripping the top early, and then finished on the bottom.
Man, he drove away too there at the end. It was.
Yeah, he
figured something out there.
And the one thing that I like about Josh Rice, I'm a major Josh Rice fan, but you never leave the racetrack and driving home bullshit with your buddy.
Yeah.
And you say, man, if he would have ran just a little bit harder, he would have had that.
Right.
You never got to say that about Josh Rice.
Never.
Ever. It doesn't matter what it is. So.
But man, that guy, he's always been a race car driver, but he is starting to learn how to race now.
Yeah.
And them guys are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, because he's learning how to keep the tires on the car, and
keep the quarter panel on the car.
Where he was bad about that before, tearing that stuff off. Now he's learning how to race now, so them guys are going to be in trouble.
Well, I've seen something where somebody said, I think it was on Twitter, it said Josh Rice deserves to be on a national tour.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with that. But one thing I want to say about that is, I love the regional guys that can go and compete against the national tour guys.
Right.
Shannon Babb, Jason Fager in Illinois.
Yeah.
Will Harrington and the guys down south. Will Harrington, Ashton Winger. Like, I know they've both gone out and ran the World of Outlaw Tour, but to me, they're still regional guys.
Right.
And it's the same way with like Josh Rice. Like, I hope that one day he gets a chance to run a national tour, because that's everybody's main goal in the late model world.
Right.
But it's also, nice to see him roll up for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 to win, and knowing that we still need regional stars, and Josh Rice is a regional star.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's he's one of those guys.
It's anywhere he goes anymore though. He's going to be one of the top contenders.
Well,
I mean,
it's you're making headway when Dirt on Dirt did a dirt cast, and they interviewed Ricky Thornton Jr.
Yeah.
And they asked RTJ to tell me who's going to win at Eldora this weekend. He went, Josh Rice is going to win. He said he may win the Dream, but he's definitely going to win one time this weekend.
Yeah.
He said because he's always been fast on the top, but now he's hard to beat on the bottom.
Yeah.
And you got one of the top 3 late model drivers in the country.
Yeah.
One of the best, most diverse race car drivers, that we've seen in years.
Yeah.
And take a note that the young man from Verona, Kentucky, who is going to, he's going to do he's the one to look out for with 100 guys. You've already kind of elevated to the next level. And so hats off to Josh Rice for the slider of the week.
Yeah. Congratulations to him, because that was a good race. I like that. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, one. that was a great race. But it was not a great start.
Yeah.
D.O. Handyman Remodeling crash of the week goes to Carson Ferguson, who absolutely full sail sent it on the cushion. He sends it, gets biked up, right front into the wall, turns over upside down, and Chris Simpson hits him wide open in the top of the halo.
Yeah. Luckily, it was on the
passenger
Yeah,
side.
the passenger
Yeah.
side, not the driver's side.
Yeah, but I mean, just nasty, vicious wreck. So Dio Handyman Remodeling, the crash of the week goes to well, I guess we can say Eldora preliminary night number 1.
Yeah.
Because Will Harrington flipped in the same turn.
Yeah.
But he drove his to the pits like Earnhardt.
Yeah, he drove it to the pits. Yeah.
There was no driving Carson Ferguson's car.
No,
in the
his
pit.
car.
But 2 things I want to say about that. Thing number 1, the race car did its job.
Yeah.
Everybody at Longhorn builds a safe race car. Steve Harpen was there looking at the car to try to, what can we change something to prevent this? Because I seen some comments are saying, well, that bar bent down.
Yeah,
yeah, we got hit in the roof at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
it is going to bend down.
It's an 1.5 piece tubing.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. That is going to happen.
That's why they're there too.
Yeah. With that being said, for somebody who builds race cars, I'm no Steve Harpen, I'm no Mark Richards, but that's why the right side has got an angle, and the right side is offset, because you want the right side to collapse and you want the left side to stay up so the driver can get out of the car.
Right.
And then now when you see that little head bar, now that everybody runs and all the drivers, especially old school drivers, bitch about it being hard to get in the car.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why that is, so if you get hit in the left side, it doesn't collapse above your head.
Yeah.
That's the reason why that bar's there. So, Longhorn did a phenomenal job for the fans that are, I mean, it sounds like a prick saying this, but uneducated about certain situations.
Right, yeah.
The race car did exactly what it was supposed to do to prevent injury, and so the guy can get out of the car. For a guy that puts cages in cars and fix wrecks and seen shit that, shouldn't be there. And
right.
So that's, that did his job.
Yeah.
My next comment about that is, I heard some people, I even had 2 guys say to me, that's the best I've seen Eldora race in a while. And my answer to that is, it's because it had a cushion.
Yeah.
The track had a cushion. It slicked off in the middle. You could slide up, you hit the cushion, and guess what the cushion did? It upset the cars.
Right. So
you couldn't just slow roll around the top and keep your momentum.
No, you had to.
You kind of need a little character to have a in racetrack.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and there was passing.
There was plenty of passing.
People like to see passing.
No. And into that same night, Jonathan Davenport started 6th and took the win.
Yeah.
In preliminary feature number 1, Brandon Overton 2nd, RTJ 3rd. Friday night, JD looked like the class of the field Friday night, and Saturday night he proved that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Davenport at Eldora, it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this politically correct. But when you say people, well, they've got something figured out.
Yeah.
Well, the hell, yes, he brings the same damn car.
Yeah.
He's got a car that's
just for Eldora.
Just for Eldora.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the combination is.
I seen everybody too after race store. They need to take a car in and tear it down, tear it completely apart. I mean,
it's legal.
They go through tech every single night, guys.
Yeah. Well,
that's the thing. Some of the stuff you see on there is actually comical. I mean,
but here's the thing. I didn't even want to get on this tirade.
Yeah.
So in the Super Late Model world, you have literally 7 rules.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, there's more rules than that, but basically, you got a width rule on the body. You got a skew rule on the body.
Yep.
You got a spoiler rule. You got a height rule. And then when it gets to suspension parts, you can have no electronic devices.
Yep.
No traction control devices. No
air shocks.
No air shocks. And no communication to the driver.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much fair game.
Yeah. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. You got to keep the nose out of the track. You got to run these tires, and there it is.
Yeah.
You run whatever engine you want, whatever shock you want. You can run whatever you want.
Yeah.
So just automatically saying this guy's cheating because he's winning. No, they found the right package. Could you change a body rule? Maybe fix that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Could you change a ride height rule and keep the right front off the ground and change that? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But to the token, they're not doing anything wrong.
No.
They're just better. And when Davenport, I used to not be a fan of Jonathan Davenport.
Yeah.
Not because he won. because, I mean, let me rephrase that. When he was racing crates and he first started out, I was a big fan of Jonathan Davenport.
Yeah.
Because he just drove the wheels off the car and was fast everywhere he went. And so I was like, I really like this dude. Then he started winning. And I didn't like him not because he was winning, but he started winning Super Late Model. But he kind of got entitled.
Yeah.
Got a little arrogant. Got a little butt hurt all the time. Always had something to bitch about.
Yeah.
Then the last 2 years, it's kind of like
it's kind of went back like he used to be.
Yeah, like he's just kind of like, well, I'm fortunate that I get to do this for a living.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, these young guys are driving the shit out of these cars. So
yeah,
like I'm not gonna bitch about it. Like the other night when he spun the wheel of invert.
Yeah.
He inverts a 4, and he goes, well, that sucks. It's probably the worst starting spot in the invert because when you go in the corner, the air gets so goofy on the outside. But I'm glad I didn't draw 6.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he wasn't just like, oh my God, you know. Yeah. I'm starting to come back around. On Superman. He's one of those guys that I just didn't really care a whole lot for there for a while. It's kind of like Kyle Busch to me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like Kyle Busch because of his persona that I seen.
Yeah.
And I don't watch NASCAR that much. You know, so
you only get to see what they show in.
Yeah, I just see him storming off, pissed off.
Yeah.
Then I see him at the dirt track with his kid, and I see some videos of the way he's teaching his son how to race, and the values that he's giving his son for racing.
Yeah. And he's showing up racing with them guys too. Is what's cool. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just.
So now I've gone 180. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like him. So now when I see those video clips pop up like on YouTube, I think they're funny as hell because I understand that he really does not care about this job. Yeah. Like he just wants to race. He don't care about the political aspect of it. He don't care about the sponsorship aspect. He don't care about none of that. Yeah. So when he's answering that, he's not being a prick. He really just don't give a shit. Yeah. So it's even funnier now. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like when I look back and watch that, I'm like, well, I kind of respect him even more for that. Yeah. Tony Stewart was kind of the same way. Always got a bad rap. But,
he was the same way too.
But you know, I love smoke. So, but yeah, that was what went on this week. Racetrack spotlight before we get off here for the interview. See, I almost forgot about it. First off, we are looking for a sponsor for the Racetrack spotlight. And we've had some, because Flash has been out of town. I'm going to tell you this now and kind of fill everybody into. We've actually had some guys reach out, so we're going to have we're working on a sponsorship to help make things a lot easier for the program.
That'd be cool.
I didn't even mention that, but we're going to also have a kind of a working relationship going forward. I guess I probably should have put this in the open, not 40 minutes in. Yeah. Kind of like the dirt tracker thing. I kind of just slipped my mind. But I've been doing so much this week. But we're going to have a working relationship with Trenton Berry and the guys at Racing Dirt. Oh, yeah. So there's going to be some stuff in the next few weeks. We're ironing some things out. But we're going to do, I'm just going to put it out there so people can look forward to it. There's a spotlight that's going to happen. It's a modified spotlight. I don't know if we're going to do it on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but it's going to be for YouTube and Facebook alone, and you'll be able to find it on RacingDirt .tv. Racing Dirt is another deal just like Flow. Trent Berry and them, they're the ones that put on the Modified World Championship last weekend. Yeah. So there's some things in the works. I don't really have the breaking news, so to speak, because I don't know dates and times how it's gonna correspond yet. But there's some things that we're really, really excited to be working on, and it's gonna be a pretty neat deal for the fans of the Train and Slider podcast. And another thing too, I've worked on a title sponsor. So we're gonna do a racetrack spotlight at the racetrack, every track we go to coming up. Kind of like it's the race day reports basically. Yeah. So I've got a sponsor for that, and with that we're gonna do 1 to 3 minute videos at the racetrack with basically for YouTube Shorts and Facebook. It won't be on the podcast platform, but it will be little short videos. We're gonna do some driver interviews. Promoter interviews, real short clips. I've got people people are reaching out about those videos, and this has kind of been in the works for a long time, but we just got the equipment, and you know, we've done 3 little short videos, and we've had over 10,000 views, and
that amazes me.
And we're just testing equipment. And the main thing is that we want to make sure the volume levels are right, and quite frankly, make sure I know how to load it, and because I don't know how to train, I've never done video work like that. So some things we're working on, but going forwards, each and every weekend when we go to the racetrack, you're going to get a racetrack spotlight. Even if we go to watch or we're going to get a race day report. Even if we go as a fan.
Yeah, if we just go as a fan.
We go and hang out. We're going to, boom, put it up. Maybe grab a driver or, you know, let everybody know what's going on. And also on those, we're going to start doing like reports about who's coming on the next show. Try to let people know. There's a lot of different things that's in the works that the wheels are spinning right now. And, you know, we're trying to give you guys as much content as we possibly can, because we don't get rich off this, guys. We work regular jobs. But we are trying to, you know, grow this and turn this into something that you guys have asked for, quite frankly. We've had a bunch of a bunch of positive feedback, a few negative, but a bunch of positive feedback, and each and every week the show is growing by leaps and bounds, so we appreciate that. But I just wanted to let you guys know exactly what was going on. So this week's Racetrack Spotlight is the Beckley Motor Speedway in Beckley, West Virginia. It's a 3rd mile. You say ultra high bank or just high bank?
I'd say high bank.
Yeah, I mean, it's high bank.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
it's not Tazwell bank, but it's you know,
it is high bank though.
It's banked as much or more than Florence.
Oh yeah.
So it's
I'd say bank more than Florence.
Yeah, it's a 3rd mile. We are there this weekend for the Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series. It's a 2-day show. We'll talk about that in the upcoming events at the end. But one cool thing about Beckley, it's on the backstretch is elevated. It's got a campground at the racetrack. So if you go like a 2-day event, or I think they got a couple of major crate late model races. I think they have some Southern National races coming up. So if you want to go and take your camper, they got campground, full hookups at the racetrack. Cool sale.
That's nice.
Restaurant/bar area on the backstretch. That's sometimes open, sometimes not. Sometimes there's a party, sometimes there's a fight. But they've got a restaurant bar area that's elevated over top the racetrack. Which is super cool. Really nice press box. Pit area is, if you're a driver that's coming to run with the series, it's wide, it's flat.
It's big.
It's a big pit area.
Nice.
Super nice facility. Couple negatives, especially if you're announcing and you have to do the interview
on track.
On track. First off, to leave the pits to get to the press box is a 3.759 moderate to strenuous hike. But
just to get up to
the press box. Just to get to the press box. Once you get there, and your guys decide to win, and they want to do on-track interview, which is cool. But you got to walk 2.5 miles down the steps, over the hill to grandmother's house. We go to get to the racetrack. But it's nestled in the what mountain? I don't even know what mountain.
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure.
Probably should have done a little more research on the mountains there. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I bet it's the Appalachian Mountains.
It's
got to be the Appalachian Mountains. Geography class 101 right here on the Trading Sliders. But it's nestled in the hillside there. Beautiful facility. And we're there this week for 2 nights.
2 nights.
You can look it up they got Facebook, and they do a pretty good job there. So Beckley Motor Speedway, this week's Racetrack Spotlight. But we're gonna get off here and listen to David Clark, this week's guest. Like I said, viewer discretion is advised, but honestly, it's really not that bad. He just drops a couple F-bombs. But in the way he does it, I promise you'll enjoy it. David Clark. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives, presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. On this week's Trading Slider Deep Dive, we have the man that just... Hold on a second. Hold on. How are we going to do this? Flash, I always got something quirky to say. But I know some of his competitors, they're kind of scared of him. So I'm going to give him a nickname right here on the fly, okay? It's Stone Cold You like that before we get
I mean, I can take it.
Stone Cold David Clark out of Tazwell, Tennessee. Now, a couple of the kids were saying you showed up with your cut off sleeves, and it's like, I don't want to make him mad. I said, I wouldn't worry about making him mad because of his arms. It ain't like he's working out. I just don't think he really gives a shit. So I'd stay on his good side. But we really appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. You're doing great.
You're running this year for you're not much of a points racer.
Never have I been a point racer.
But he's won like 5 track championships, Flash.
Yeah.
How the hell's that work?
That's pretty good.
I just got lucky. I mean, sometimes you just show up and they just kind of give that shit to you. So I'm like, here we go.
Well, this year he's running for points though.
Yeah.
For the Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series, a series that I work for, that's near and dear to my heart because we bring modifieds to a part of the country that has all late models all the time. Dirt on Dirt stole the slogan from East Tennessee.
Yeah.
So my first question is, how in the hell are you an open wheel modified racer in East Tennessee?
Well, how that worked was, I've always thought that was cool. And everybody says, if you can drive open wheel, you can drive anything. Well, I got a late start in racing. I've always done fairly well. And I decided, I said, shit, I like to drive open wheels. They're just wild and out of control and just well, some of them are out of control. So we're.
What
my wife
track
hates,
you're at?
Okay, listen. My wife absolutely thought this the stupidest things in the world.
Yeah.
So they had a race here at Bulls Gap, and we come up here, and Wayne James is on the top like Wayne James does, and just absolutely just killing the decking out of this thing every lap, and they're just. But we start to leave, and she says, I want to open wheel. And I said, I thought they sucked. She's like, nah, that's the baddest son of a bitches I've ever watched, and we're having one. I said, yes, ma'am.
Well, you knocked the deck out, and the left front's a foot in the air, and we're just... Well, see, that's why I like modifieds.
Yeah, that's me.
One thing I do, I'm going to give you shit about, though, you guys still call them open wheels. They're modifieds. Where I come from, I'm from the Midwest. They're modified. We don't even say open wheel modifieds where I'm from.
Well,
they just call them modifieds.
It's according to where you go.
Yeah.
You know, my mother is like die-hard racing. She's all about. She gets so confused because some places they call them open wheels, some places they call them off. And she says, "Oh, which damn class you running now?" And I'm like, "Mom, I mean, it's always open wheels or modifieds. It's because we used to run modified street." And they would just call that modified sometimes. So it gets a little confusing, but I don't give a damn what you call them as long as we get to race.
Yeah, well, they're badass race cars, and I say we because I'm part of the series as well. But, you know, we participate where it's strictly late models all the time. 9 different late model divisions. I mean, at every track. It don't matter what.
I mean, that's just East Tennessee.
Yeah, it's East Tennessee. You got super late models, crate late model sportsman, 602, 604, steel block. You get over to West Tennessee, you got 2-barrel late model, 4-barrel late model. If they could get 6 barrels on it, they run the damn late model.
That's what I say. You know, it's funny here that they'll have, like, you know, when sportsmen first come about, oh, it's an entry-level class. Well, fuck, they're paying them $800 a win. They're like, well, nobody wants to run steelhead. And I'm like, well, goddamn, you're paying them what you should pay steelhead. Then well, we're going to run open wheels. We'll pay you $400 in a hot dog, thanks. You know, I'm like...
You're like, I'll see you next week. I'm winning that championship.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, I'm here.
I want mustard on the hot dog.
Okay, they got good hot dogs.
You got relish?
Yeah.
You ask them, you got relish? And then no, so I ain't going to be back there.
That's right.
I ain't going there. They ain't got no relish.
If you don't change your chili, fuck it, I'm out.
You don't win. No, well, hold on a second. Chili on hot dogs. Do you like chili and coleslaw?
I don't like coleslaw.
Are you serious?
No.
You haven't had the right coleslaw. You don't like vinegar, do you?
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Real coleslaw is made with mayonnaise.
No, I don't give a shit what it's made of. It's not good. And it damn sure don't go in a hot dog.
See, you're close enough to the Carolina.
You probably don't eat meat, beans, in your chili either, do you?
No, meat, beans, noodles, I eat it all.
Oh, okay. Noodles?
Yeah.
You never had
Just
noodles?
spaghetti.
You gotta have noodles.
You gotta have noodles in your
have
spaghetti.
noodles in chili.
No, noodles does not go in chili. That's spaghetti.
No.
This can go on all day.
Yeah. So, all right. Yankees. I mean, Jesus Christ! You really said you're racing for a hot dog, and then I break it down, and I described the hot dog wrong.
Yeah, you literally.
All right, we're gonna get serious again.
Okay.
No, we're not.
No,
we don't.
Fuck, I did talk to somebody else. I ain't doing this.
Well, I know. I know that, and that's why I've always wanted to have you on. I was like, I'm gonna get him, and this is what I actually thought. I'm gonna get him one night after the race, after you had a bad night, so he'd be really wired up. But then I'm like, he gets to the racetrack like me, 9 hours early. Yeah. We're the only people here, so hell, we might as well bullshit.
I mean, I'm all about making it all work. If I pull in and like a place I race all the time, like here, I have a place I park. It starts my night off shitty if somebody's in my parking spot. So
that's why you left last week.
I try not to get mad and cause no bullshit. I just fucking show up early. If you're gonna beat me to racetrack, you better get up in the night and come. I'm here.
I mean, okay. I see you like your parking spot. Why do you not like your crew? I mean, you parked 3 miles from the racetrack.
God, fuck, there's a motorcycle, four-wheeler, damn car. There'll be 2 more cars here. Hell, they got ways to get around.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering because, it's a beautiful sight up here if you're not scared of heights.
Well, it is up and back. Look, you can see 3/4 of the racetrack from here.
What if you got a problem in that 1/4?
Well, they'll be down there in the bottom of the crew. I'm so one-man crew, so I only got one crew.
You have to get out and tell them if you got the problems, huh?
Yeah. I say, hey, look here, we got to change this tire. I have to get out and help him, but hey, we'll get it done.
Well, that's the way you are. You're the original one-man band. Not Dennis Erb. David Clark is the one-man band.
Literally, and this is no kidding, for several years racing, it was me and my daughter. Oh, what the hell happened?
Well, you knocked shit over. That's what most people do.
It's me and my daughter. She was 13, 14 years old, and probably one of the best crew members I ever had. And everybody's like,
hold on, he's looking at you now. He's pissed.
Oh, hell. Nah, he's up there asleep. And everybody's like, don't you need some help? And she'd say, why don't you get the fuck out of the way? Let me do it. She didn't care, But she was good help,
Does she have any admirations of racing?
No, she never would race. And now she's got a baby, so she really don't give a shit. But no, I begged her. I said, I'll quit today if you'll just take over. And she said, I don't want to drive. I'd like to work on it. And she still, when she comes over, she still likes to come in the garage and she hangs out and she can buff tires. She can do just whatever.
Yeah. So you need her to come over every Thursday, bring the grandbaby over, huh?
Yeah. Actually, she was over yesterday. We kept the grandbaby, but she had to work, so she didn't stick around.
For a guy that's been doing this for 15, 16 years now, how do you keep it fun?
When it's not fun, I quit. I don't have big
How many times have you quit?
I've never quit.
Okay.
I've changed classes. That's why we change classes. When it gets not fun, we just change classes. And this is the most fun we've ever had racing, was open wheel racing. And we went back to street stock because I changed jobs and I couldn't really afford it. And then we done some stuff and I sold my street stock stuff and really, I traded around and I come up with this car and I told the wife, I said, shit, I'm getting older and I really want to be serious about a points run at this series. I always want to follow a series. And I said, let's make a run at it this year. I got everything set up as far as what I can afford and what we can do. And we've been pretty good so far this year. We've only got to race once with the series, but we've still got.
But I think you've already won like 5 features this year, haven't you?
Yeah, 4 or 5 this year.
5 hot dogs too.
Yeah.
Relish, chili.
No.
Hold on. You're like me. They might want to start giving you burrito, like wraps, like chicken wraps or something.
It's the bread, man. It's not the hot dog. It's the bread.
Yeah. You say you're going to run a series. You're going to give it a go. East Tennessee is where you're at, and it. Like I said in the open, it's tough because there's not a whole lot of modified racing in East Tennessee. But for our series and for your guys' racetracks, we do visit some pretty badass racetracks for the series.
Visit some. This year's schedule is just stupid good. Money's good. Everything's. I'm so excited about it. Of course, we're going to be at my home at Tazwell, and I'm really excited about that because I've never got to take a modified around it. And I'm pretty pumped about that.
Is Tazwell the first place you ever raced?
Yes.
It wasn't? Okay, so
yes.
So when you got down to some of the Kentucky tracks, you're like, why are we going so slow?
Well, they're just not. It's the banking, I never was married to Tazwell because everybody else around says, you don't you don't do Tazwell all the time. It'll run you as a driver.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll run you as a driver. So I just never tried to stay there because I wanted to be a better driver, and that's what I wanted to be. I want to prove to myself I could.
Yeah.
And
Because I'm on record, I've been to almost 350 racetracks across the country. I love Tazwell. I absolutely love Tazwell, but it's not really that racy. It's just fast as hell.
well, I say, if they do Tazwell correctly, Tazwell is the most. It's not the fastest, it's the quickest racetrack in the world, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's not the fastest because, I mean,
It's so short.
it's so short. Everything happens so quick, so fast.
Yeah.
You don't lose 4 or 5 miles an hour in your corner, where you
Well, you slow down on the straightaway and shut up for the corner.
you literally are going the same speed through the corner as you are down the straightaway. And it's just a rush. When they fix it right, and when they get it right, it's right. And it does get racy if the racetrack's right.
Yeah. Yep. I've been to Tazwell probably 10, 15 times. Because it's not like it's in my backyard. I mean, it's 5 hours from now.
Yeah.
I'm not lucky like you get all these, cool high bank racetracks right in your backyard. I mean, we drove 6.5 hours down here this morning.
I drove
Come through your
45
home.
minutes.
Yeah, I know where.
Yeah.
I drove right. I thought you was gonna meet us for breakfast, but no.
Well, I did go to Yoder's, and that's another thing. Oh man, when you come to Bulls Gap, you have to stop at Yoder's.
Where's Yoder's at?
It's like a half a mile up the road. It's the best sandwiches and.
See, that's bullshit because we just had Subway.
Well, that's your damn fault.
Well, I didn't know about Yoder's. You didn't tell me about Yoder's.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Why don't you tell me?
I'll
We
make
just
it up
talked
to you.
Hold on,
I'll
2
make
weeks
it-
ago we talked for an hour at the track.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell me nothing about, hey, I'll see you next week here at Bulls Gap. Why don't you try Yoder's?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to make it up to you. When the wife gets here later, she's going to fix kebabs
Okay.
on the grill from fresh meat from Witt's. And when I say fresh meat, I mean they cut it yesterday while I was standing there. And I'll feed you up this evening.
Okay, well then that's a deal. See, that's my new best friend.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
better. It's gonna be better than a damn ham sandwich anyway.
Well, yeah. I
but
mean,
Yoder's is the yeah. They got cheesecake too, and I'm fat. And I like cheesecake.
I mean, there's not no food I dislike. Like
Fish. I don't like fish.
You don't like fish?
I don't eat fish or anything that smells like it.
Really?
Rules of life.
I love shrimp bowls. So, all right, trust me on this.
You
okay?
love what?
Shrimp bowls.
Oh, I thought you said shrimp balls.
No.
I thought, how you hold your little legs apart?
Well, listen, that's not enough balls for me.
Okay. I got you.
So, when you go to Talladega Short Track, you ever been to Talladega Short Track?
No.
No. Okay, well, when you go down this winter to hang out, because it's a destination, vacation destination. Go back and try TJ's crawfish. I know you say you don't like fish, but you like smoked sausage?
Oh yeah.
You like corn?
Oh yeah.
You like potatoes?
Yeah.
Well, then you can try the shrimp in there with it.
I mean, I'll try it, but as long as it
It's
don't
good
smell
shit. No, it's
fishy.
good shit. No, it's good stuff. You like spicy stuff?
Hell yeah. Do you see I got Mexican restaurant for a sponsor? Hell yeah, I like spicy.
Yeah. Well, is it real Mexican though, or is it a?
No, it's Mexican.
It's Mexican. Okay.
It's Mexican.
See, I'm from the hood, so when we eat Mexican, we got to point to the menu because we don't speak the same language.
Oh no, it's Mexican.
Okay.
And actually, I say it's part Mexican, part fat white guy. Cause I've got like 4 or 5 dishes on the menu that I cook, and we just kind of come together. And I'm like, hey, you need to try this, and shit sells really good. And he's like, oh, me like. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Look at my ass. Shit. I mean, how'd you know I didn't like?
Yeah. I mean, so yeah.
You made the switch. Was it last year or this year? We made the switch to Longhorn.
Last year.
Last year. When you made the switch to Longhorn, and what did you have previous?
I was in a street stock previous, and then my last open wheel was a GRT. And yes, it was the only GRT this side of the Mississippi, and I could get no damn help with it.
Yeah.
When you call, they're like, where you racing? I'm like, Bulls Gap. And they're like, where? I'm like, Volunteer Speedway. Where?
We never
I said,
heard that.
32 degree of banking. Oh, we can't help you.
We ain't got nothing like that around
If
here.
you're more than 6 degrees of banking, we don't have no notes.
Yeah.
We're like, well, damn. You said I park on 20-degree basis. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they don't get that.
Yeah. With the Longhorn, I know they've said that Longhorns drive a little tighter than other stuff. Obviously, if using a GRT, you got no help, so you don't know no difference.
No, it's way better than a GRT. I can tell you that.
Well, that damn dirt bike probably is.
No, actually, my GRT was pretty good.
Was it?
I mean, I just kind of
Was it the Z-Link? Or?
No,
okay.
It was 4-bar, but I talked to my buddy Scott Bloomer, and I'm like, Scott, I said, man, I need some help. I said, it's the same thing as a damn late model, He said, listen here, Dick, let me tell you what you got to do. And he told me, he's like,
first it started with, let's get some crayons.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Oh, fuck. He knows, we always got crayon. So, and we just kind of went from there and just, he's like, it's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. I was like, yeah, I know. So we just kept calming down, and it actually got pretty good.
Got drivable, huh?
I mean, once we got it drivable, it drove like I was kind of scared. And the first time I ever drove an open wheel, everybody's like, what's it like? What's it like? I said, I'll tell you what. You go out and find the baddest, meanest bull you've ever seen, and you get on it and you let somebody kick it in the fucking balls. And that's pretty much driving an open wheel right there, honey. And everybody's like, you're crazy. I said, well, that's just my experience. I mean,
so how many bulls have you been on?
I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of the same thing. You just kind of like hold on and go. It does this thing.
You hold your breath for 20, 25 laps and hope for the best.
Hope you've got it steered in the right kind of way.
Yeah.
How many times a year do you run on Hoosiers? Or are you strictly American racers?
Oh, what?
On Hoosiers.
We don't boat junk on our race car. Sorry.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you about the sidewalls and the tires and the difference, but we know the answer to that now.
Yeah.
So we'll just...
I'll say that, but I mean, I am going to try to do some other races later in the year, and I'll have to put whatever them things are called on there. But
hockey pucks.
Yeah, they call them what they want, but I have tried them. Like everybody's like, why are you so against them? I mean, I've come here, we tested here with them, and I tested with Matt, and we done back-to-back Hoosiers to racers, Hoosiers to racers, Hoosiers to racers, and it's not even a comparison. I mean, like, maybe I didn't tie my shit up enough. I mean, just going race car to race. I mean, not changing anything else. I mean, I was 2 to 3 tenths average every lap better on the racers, and I just always run racers. So
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask the difference in driving style because I know the American racer has a softer sidewall, so
they roll a little more.
Yeah.
They do roll a little more, and I mean, I think my trouble with the whole tire problem is these series that have, you can only run a Hoosier. Well, so I can run any chassis I want. I can run any shock, any seat, any motor, any transmission. I can run any part of that race car. Besides, I have to run a Hoosier. That's a money thing. Somebody got paid, and that's a bullshit rule. If the tire's black and round, we should be able to go. If I want to put Goodyear Wranglers on this bitch, I ought to be able to.
You're not wrong there.
I mean, they don't tell you what car you can drive. I mean,
don't tell you what carburetor you can run.
Yeah, no carburetor. I mean, the only thing they tell you have to run is a damn Hoosier tire, and I just think that's bullshit. I don't agree with that. I don't like it. I don't try to associate with any kind of series that makes a tire rule like that. Like our series, you can run Hoosiers.
You can run either or.
They don't give a shit.
No, either or. Everybody's welcome here.
Yeah, that's what I say.
We're like the homeless shelter. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. I feel like we've had some from the homeless shelter race with us.
Well, just twice.
Yeah.
But it was just twice. Yeah. But hey, I mean, when you get that far down into Georgia, you take what you can get, man.
Well, I mean, and that's what I say. You never hear me dog another racer because they're trying. Or my only issue with most racers or not most racers, but a lot of racers, they show up to the racetrack with the same problem they've had for the last 6 months. They'll turn their car down in the bottom, they'll push us to the top, then they're back to the bottom. Well, you can't possibly get by them, and I'm just learning. Well, you need to learn to make a circle. You need to.
You got to learn it at the end of this straightaway.
Yeah, because I was that guy too. I mean, I was never that bad, but I mean,
But you're still learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I learn every day, but I mean, I've been laughed a bunch of times, but nobody's ever said, God darn, I couldn't get around no David Clark. He couldn't make a lap.
You're doing the same thing every
I'm
week.
running the damn top. I'm running the top.
You're not going to change halfway through the turn?
I'm not going to change when they say, 13 car, here's the leaders. Well, fuck, let's windshield wipe this bitch down the straightaway and see if we can't take them out.
Let's see what the hell they got.
Yeah.
I want to see how bad they are.
Or when they go by me, try to drive it up under them and try to push them down the straightaway and see if I can't keep up with them. You know, I'm like.
Well, here's the thing. With those size guns you got, you could do that if you wanted to.
Well,
Not too many of them are going to say anything to you.
Well, but I'm just a big teddy bear, though. That's what I'm just intimidating.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them that.
I mean, I don't care. It's no big deal.
Well, that's okay. If it's no big deal to you, I mean, I wasn't going to go around and tell everybody.
Says the guy with Incredible Hulk on his front.
I mean,
That's what I'm getting at.
See, but if you tell them that, see, then they want to try you sometime, and then
Then they find out.
then you just have to whoop one person. I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Don't
If
make
you
him
whoop
angry.
one-
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Yeah.
If you just whoop one, you don't really have to whoop them anymore. They get the picture.
Yeah, they talk about it.
I mean, we've all been there before. Oh, I can tell you lots of fight stories. We used to.
Well, go ahead. We got 9 hours till hot laps.
Listen, we used to really like. I hung out with. I mean, his always thing was, he says, I don't think I'm the baddest man around, but I know the baddest man, and he sends me a Christmas card, you know. So I mean, he's. I mean, the crew I hung out with for years, you know, they're pretty. They like to fight, you know. That's where people get life screwed up. They talk about fighting.
Yeah.
But these guys like to fight.
Yeah.
And they
that's
want to fight.
Kind of what we ran into.
Yeah.
I mean,
we found some guys that liked it.
Yeah,
You think I like doing this stuff?
Yeah,
I owe my life to him, so he makes me do
Yeah,
this
man,
now.
they do guys, you know, you punch them in the face and they grin. They're like, yeah, that's a good, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of people I hung out with, and I didn't ever used to like to fight, but you learn that you're gonna fight. You know, it's not that if you like it or not. You better learn to like it because you're gonna fight. I mean,
that's just part of it.
that's part of it. And
Especially
I
racing
like
in
it.
East Tennessee.
But I'm getting old now, so I try to ease up. But my wife gives me a hard time. She said, everybody talks about you fighting. She said, I know you just lay on the ground, kick your feet like a little bitch. I was like, man, don't tell everybody my secrets. I mean,
Well, that's sometimes the wife
sometimes
knows
it might
best.
work. Hey, I watched them UFC fights, and them dudes, they'll knock people out laying on their back kicking their feet. So, I mean, it could work.
And
Hey, I tried.
we've all been there before.
I mean, that's not usually how I fight, but, I mean, I have been knocked to the ground, and that's the only shot I got to try to kick them.
I had this one guy one night. He went well on my last time of your competition. You want to go pick on them?
Oh, I have already. He told me earlier he wants to go mud wrestling. They were mud wrestling at Lake Cumberland or
Ponderosa. He signed you up.
Yeah, he said, I just want me and you to mud wrestle. I kind of took it. I didn't know if he was trying to hit on me.
I'm not paying to see that.
Yeah.
Listen, he's 110 pounds soaking wet.
But he's got more hair than me and you combined.
Yeah, but I didn't know if he was trying to be sweet on me or he's wanting to really fight. So,
I mean, I will call him up here if you want to fight.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah,
He's right.
By the time he gets back up that hill, he'll be wore out.
Well, I was gonna say he's 20-year-old, so I mean he's going way outwin me. But time he walks back up that hill, I got it.
Yeah, you got that one, huh?
That's why he parks up here.
Yeah, that's smart. But by the time they get up to your trailer, you got your equipment off and ready to go.
If they walk from wherever in these pits to over here,
They really want some.
they want to fight.
They want some.
They want to fight.
They weren't coming over to get a shrimp skewer off the grill.
No, they're not. They're not coming over here to damn chat. They get to there. They're coming to fight.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
Yeah, is it just bring it, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna put on the Incredible Hulk. Just bring it.
Yeah.
So you're. I screwed up. You're not Stone Cold. You're The Rock.
Now I was trying to think. I was washing my car one day, and the school bus was driving by. I didn't have a shirt on or nothing, you know, and I'm fat, you know, but I don't remember. They was like, I don't remember if they called me Stone Cold or I don't remember. It was one of them, but like they was hollering at the bus driver, stop, it's Stone Cold, you know, and I'm like, Stone Cold ain't fat like me.
Stone Cold ain't put this much away.
No, I'm fat, you know, but.
We're from up north, man. You just sound like Larry the Cable Guy to us.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Well, you wait till my wife gets here and I'll let you talk to her. Like, she stumps me up sometimes. She's like the most. Good God! If you put soup, beans, and cornbread in a woman, that's the way she talks. I mean, she's. When I say she's. I mean, as country as, oh, Lord. And I tell her all the time, I say, I think your true calling is you need to read books, you know, that whatever that shit is on the internet. She's like, they won't even understand me. And I'm like, baby, they would understand you. It would be the greatest thing ever.
But see, you said wait till I can't wait till your wife gets here. She's bringing food. You said.
Yeah. Actually, she should be here about 3.
Oh well. hell, that's 3 hours still. We're gonna have to eat twice before she gets here.
I told you I got me a sandwich on the way. I mean, it was for a reason.
It was for a reason. All right. So going forwards, what's the goal for the year? I know obviously you're running for the championship. Do you want to? Is it X amount of wins or just try to still have fun with this? What's the goal?
I want to have fun. I do want to win. I mean, of course, obviously the goal is to win.
Well, yeah.
I feel like I've got as good of equipment as I've ever had or ever going to have. So I just got to put together a good night, and I'd like to have a couple wins. Obviously, I want to win the championship. That's the whole goal. But winning. I mean, we're here to win. I'm not here to run second. I mean, I'm here to win. And but there's some good competition here, and I mean good competition in this series.
As far as series-wise, we may not have 25 guys that follow from race to race, but the 10 to 12 core that we have at every event, I'll put it up against anybody in the country.
I know these guys, a lot of them travel. Honestly, literally, when I say I can't afford it, I literally can't afford to travel. But when the guys we race against, I see them on TV all the time traveling. They're always top 3. They're kicking ass everywhere they go, and it makes you appreciate what you have and what you do when you do beat them. Yeah. Like Blake Brown. I love Blake. We're buddies. I give him so much shit. He come up here a few weeks ago and I beat him, and oh God, I really got to turn it on with him.
Yeah.
And then he texts me the next week and he's like, my generator quit and I've cut my leg. I said, then you got beat by an old white bastard. He's like, yeah, fuck. He said, shut up about it. I was like, I just reminding you how shitty your whole week was.
It wasn't just the way there. Yeah, it was once you got there and on the way back.
Yeah, I said, all that, is what it is. But our group of guys, we don't really have any of the arrogance I call. I mean, we've got a couple, very few, but most of the guys, I get along with everybody, and we all kind of give each other a hard time. You beat me this week, I beat you next week, but it's kind of, I beat that ass this week. I mean, and it's never no kind of like. Everybody just really gets along, and everybody respects her. It's a respect thing for me. I'm all about respect. I give respect, but I expect it back. And 95% of the guys we race with really race with good respect. I mean, they race hard, but most of them. I mean, if you come in here and you flip out this joint.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's what I was going to say.
You know
what intention is. Yeah. You know what intention. They just racing you hard, and it's not. I mean, because you watch a lot of guys and they're shitty, man. They just race with no respect and.
We got a good core group of kids, because we can call them kids because we're older. We got a good core group of kids here that I'm proud to say they run clean. Do they screw up? Everybody screws up.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to be the biggest, the worst. Good God. If I spun out or something, it was somebody else's fault, and I'm whooping somebody. Yeah. And then it just got to where, I mean, I whooped a guy one night. I mean, he's my buddy, I mean, and I whooped him bad, and then I had a different woman. She's like, what was that about? And I was like, what son of a bitch wrecked me? And she's like, he wasn't even in the same corner as you. And I was like, huh? She's like, no, he wasn't even nowhere close.
Well, I meant last week.
Yeah, but last week I saw bitch got me.
Well, the funny part, I mean, like, I broke a ball joint, so it actually happened, and it turned me in a while, but I thought it was him. And then, and I went and apologized to him. I was like, hey, listen.
I kicked your ass. I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I said, I'm not sorry that I whooped your ass, because you've needed that for a long time. He said, hell yeah. He said, I can't believe it took this long for. I mean, he's an old man like me, and he's raced with all the badasses that around when it used to be fight every weekend, and so he wasn't mad about it. He's just like, and then actually the very next week, before I'd even talked to him, I was building a new motor. We was running modified street then. I was building a new motor, and they just set up push rods, and I couldn't find any, and they said, let's go down there. I said, I bet he's got a set. I said, well, let's go. And they was like, you really gonna go? I said, yeah. We went in. I told him what I was wanting. He said, man, I have a set battery in my motor. And I was like, well, I ain't worried about that. I said, I'll get it. So he said, no. He said, just hold on. I'm not racing this week. And he took took them out of his
Yeah.
motor and give them to me.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of friendship that we've all built, that we're going to have some problems. Hell, everybody has problems. I mean, it ain't no
if
different
you're
than
on
your
the
best
racetrack-
friend. It ain't no different than your best friend. You're going to have fun at your best friend every now and then over something stupid, but you're always going to come back and still your best friend. And I have total respect for that man. And, you know, he's passed away now, but he was a super good dude. God darn, look, that's like my dick.
Okay, yeah,
It's supposed to be big, but it's a little short.
Yeah, it's just like that is the most. I've never seen a holler like that. I've seen just about everything.
That's about the most unpersonal holler I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's like a fat girl at prom.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so David Clark, the Stone Cold Incredible Hulk, ass kicking, doesn't give a shit if you like him or not. Chasing.
Actually, I do care. I like to be liked.
Yeah.
Actually. I mean, I really...
So you just talked for 20 minutes about being a badass. Now you want to be liked.
No. I'm way far not a badass. I don't care to fight, but that don't make me a badass. But
Okay, sorry.
I do like to be liked. I mean, it's nice to go to the racetrack and, you know, like get here early and you have people come by and people talk. But in East Tennessee, it's pretty rare we have people that come and talk. We really don't. And my wife, she's like, why does nobody like you? I mean, in the street stuff, I mean, we won a lot. We won a lot. And
Well,
they didn't like it.
That's the best way to keep people from liking
Well, that's what I said, that they didn't like it, you know. And I've done everything. I've helped them all. I've worked on their cars. I've drove their cars and won in them. I'm like,
It's not the car.
not your car, you know. Not that I'm a great driver. I've never claimed to be a good driver, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to kindly get your shit together, you know. But
Right.
I like to be like, it's nice. But we go to Kentucky. It's the crazy. We sell more merchandise in Kentucky. We have more people come talk to us.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, like everybody is so respectful. Everywhere else we go besides at home.
Yeah. Well, it's because when you're on the road, like the guys in Kentucky, they love coming to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because you're racing against a different group. If you race against the same group, you're gonna have the same problem.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what it is. But it's just it's annoying, really.
My dad told me that a long time ago. It was like my first year racing, and me and this guy got together, and then like 3 weeks later we got together, and I was like, that son of a bitch, he does not like me. My dad said, well, if you get faster, you ain't got to fight with him. You fight with somebody else. I was like, oh, okay, shit.
Well, I mean, I guess Scott Blomquist told us all a long time ago, if people like you in racing, you're fucking slow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he said. You know, I mean,
So you're saying the guys in Kentucky think you're slow?
they think I'm slow. So I just kind of, I mean, I am. I love it. I don't never claim to, I'm going to win every week. You're not going to win every week. I mean, and street stock stuff, when I showed up, there wasn't a doubt in my mind. If I didn't tear up, I was coming home winning. I mean, I was going to win. I just really felt that way. And then this shit, I mean, I feel like if my shit's really good, I'm going to run really good. Everybody else is going to run really good too. It's not, you got to, and with the street stock stuff, you know, I could be 80, 85%, I can still win. And this shit, if
you're 95, you're not winning.
You're 95%. You might make the fucking race. I mean, like, for real. I mean, it's just so much more competition. That's what I like about it. It's a competition. I've run fifth and felt better about my fifth place run than I have a win several times, just because I'm in the pack racing for the lead, and all five of us are just on top, just hammering it out, you know, and making a race. I like to race. I don't.
Right.
It's called racing for a reason. It's not called winning. It's called racing, and that's what I like. A lot of people don't. They think it's just winning, but...
Well, as they get older, that will change.
Yeah.
That goes back to what you said. You got to have fun while you're doing it, or it ain't worth all the time you have to put in.
I see all these young kids and their dads just throwing money. We got to win. I was like, won't you teach your kid to race?
Yeah.
Won't you teach your kid? It's all right to run 10th.
So
Next week, let's try to run 8th.
Yeah.
You know, let's don't, by God, we don't win. We buy our way through. Well, it ain't about money. You know, at some point, you got to learn to race and have talent. And not everybody's got talent. And, you know, some do. Some people just get them naturally and just are stupid good, and some of us like me have to work at it a lot. But
You ever thought about being a racing preacher?
I cuss too bad, you know.
No, not racing. It's okay. Because
Well,
you're
I
teaching
mean-
racing life lessons through racing.
I mean, I guess it'd be all right. I mean, I don't reckon the Bible says nothing about saying call nobody a motherfucker.
No, you can. I mean, if it's your world, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I guess I could get down with that.
Yeah, I might work on. We might do some kind of classes
Well,
this winter.
it'd have to definitely be on the radio because, you know, got this face for radio, you know.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we're almost 40 minutes into this. I don't want to keep you all night, but we appreciate you coming on. Any sponsors you want to thank, help you get up and down the road?
Oh,
before
man, you know, you're going to make me walk around my car. Listen, first
Wait, hold on a second. The core's not that damn long. So
First of all, I got to thank Phantom Race Engines. Junior has done my stuff for years and years and years, and he's always built me a badass piece, and I love him for it. We got Witt's Place. He's the meat man. He's, you know, we joke about it, but you can't beat Witt's meat. I mean, it's just it's the best, and even his wife thinks so. It's weird.
Even his wife.
It's weird. Got Gato's Tacos. Of course, if you're ever in Tazwell, stop by, see Jen and Gato. They'll fix you up with the best tacos you ever had. We got Excess Power. Chad's always been super good, keeping our stuff charged up and going. We got Jim Highland, our shot guy. He's come on this year, and I think it's proved that our program has really picked up since we've been on his stuff. Let's see, we got Wallace.
Let me get my fat ass out of your way.
Shit, let me get it.
Yeah.
We got Wallace Auto Sales. He's come on this year. We got McCarter Brothers Racing, Kobe Seals Tree Service, Adam All. Always keeps my shit looking good. If you ever see my stuff, I feel like I take pride in my stuff looking good. Earl Heating and Cooling. Oh man, I don't remember all these. Slim and Trim. God darn, I cannot forget Slim and Trim. Because I ate all this fucking food and they keep me looking nice.
Oh yeah. You're slim and
fuck.
trim. You are slim
Yes,
and
sir.
trim.
I'm
No shit about
250 pounds of slim and trim, honey. Lester Fabrication. Oh God, and of course, last but definitely not least, King Matt with American Racer South, always keeping us glued. I mean, he's a dick, really, but I love
Tell
him.
me about it.
I love him. He's my buddy, and I guess that's about all. Of course, I got my big granny. Always a memory of her. She's not here with us anymore, but she was my number one. Mom and Dad, my wife, my crew, Lance. He's a good one. That's about all, I guess.
So, the 411 Modified Street Champion, 3 or 4 track championships at Tazwell Speedway. Don't really know because he said he can't count that high anymore.
So I don't do points racing until this is my first year of actually wanting to points race. So this is kind of.
We're gonna see where it goes.
We'll
David
see.
Clark, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go, everyone. That was David Clark, this week's deep dive. David Clark is a modified racer out of East Tennessee. Won 4 track championships. We're pretty sure it was 4 track championships at Tazwell, 1 track championship at 411. But as he would say, he never raced for points. So
Yeah.
It just
happened.
It just happened. He
Yeah.
said, my favorite line.
I think he said this was his first year he's actually trying to race for
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
My first line was, if you show up enough, they'll just give you that shit.
Yeah.
so I kind of like that.
Yeah.
He just showed up enough, and they just gave him that. But he's a family man, and
Yeah.
talks about his daughter helping out on the race car, and now she doesn't get to come because she's got a baby. So and his wife, she's the one that decided that he was going to run, open wheels. His words, not mine. If
Yeah.
you can put beans and cornbread
Yeah.
in the mouth of a woman, that's what you got. So
Yeah.
his words. But David Clark, cool cell guy. He's one of those guys. If you're at the racetrack, if you go to East Tennessee, you can follow along with the Cumberland Plateau Series.
Yeah.
Go see him. He's got super good looking T-shirts. He's got great merchandise.
Yeah.
And he's one of those dudes that will sit there and talk to you. And
Yeah, because how you heard him on the podcast, that's exactly how he is.
yes, that's
yeah.
he's on go mode the whole time.
Yeah.
and if he disagree with you,
Yep.
you will know he's not going to beat around the bush.
Yeah.
You will not beat around the bush. You seen him. You heard in the podcast him talking about Hoosier racing tires, and
Yeah.
he's got a problem with Hoosier, a major
He'll
problem.
let you know.
and this week when all the guys started blistering tires at the Dream, he made a post on Facebook, and he's one of those guys that if he feels like it's not right, he's going to stand up for it. But to me, David Clark is a throwback racer of the old.
Yeah.
Because it's not if you want to. You're just gonna have to sometimes. In his words,
Yep.
It's not if you want to fight. Sometimes you're just gonna have to.
Yep.
But yeah, David Clark. Thank you for coming on. He was a guy that we've been wanting to get on for a while.
Yeah.
Because we know him from the racetrack, and like Flash said, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
There's no beating around the bush. There's no, hey, should we have done this or should we do? No.
Yeah.
If he believes it, he's going to stand up for it. And but we're glad to have him on tour. Him, and he's kind of the old guy racing with all the kids on tour.
Yeah, we got a bunch of kids racing.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of kids on tour. But we're glad to have David on tour. He's from years of doing this. There's a lot of people I call at the racetrack. I say they're acquaintances or they're friends. But David Clark is one of those guys that we become friends over 2 years working with the series.
Yeah.
I knew about him before a little bit because when I would go to East Tennessee for the super late model races or the big modified races, Clark was the guy that went in all the sportsman and street stock races.
Right.
So you started to learn that it was always a black and green 13.
Yeah.
He was always up front. He was always winning. So if somebody like myself, I pay attention to all the divisions at the racetrack, not just what we're covering or what we're doing. And so he's a guy that I've seen race and appreciated his style, but over the last couple of years, I've got to know him, and he's one of those guys. And he fed me after the races.
Yeah.
He was true to his word to come back and fed me. And that was some of the. I'm going to quote a sponsor. You can't beat Witt's meat. You can't. It was some good shit. So, but hats off.
Yeah. I was going to say, too, about, not just him, but all these other guys we got racing in the series are great guys. But if you hear us talk about Cumberland Plateau Series all the time. I know you just hear us talk. But if you ever get a chance to actually go to one of these races, you guys need to go check them out because they're top-notch race cars. I mean, we're getting 24 cars a night, and they're all, I'd say 18 of them could win. Yeah. I mean, every place we go. So
well, that's the thing. And we talked about it with Clark on this one.
Yeah.
The Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series, it's the premier Southeast, Southeastern
series.
Modified Series.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And without Matt and at the Cumberland Plateau Series, because a little inside baseball, there's a lot of work to run a series when you're trying to run another business.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a whole lot of money to be made off a regional series like we are doing. It's a lot of times it could be a lot more headache than it is rewarding. But
Matt's one of those guys though that he really loves racing.
Yes, he loves, and he's a modified guy.
Yeah.
He grew up in California. He grew up on the West Coast and with sprint cars and modifieds, and Matt and I become friends over modifieds.
Yeah.
Because when he started the series, I went to a race and then we just talked and the Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series, it's at a point right now where it can elevate and become a major series.
Yeah.
With the races that we're putting on, the talent that we have, just like David Clark said, he feels good when he outruns these guys because he turns on flow and dirt vision, and he sees those guys that he just outran, winning races all over the country. We have guys that Southeast Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, Central Kentucky, West Virginia area. There's a need for a different style of racing than late models.
Yeah.
We love late models.
Yeah.
Kurt's got a late model.
Yeah.
I've been to I'd say it's probably getting close to 50-50 now between sprint cars and late models.
Yeah.
But I've been to, there for 5 or 6 years. I did not go. I went to 80 races a year, and 70 of them were super late model races. So,
right, yeah.
I love late models. But on the same token, you've got to have a stepping stone. The stepping stone is modified racing, or as they call it in the South, open wheels.
Open wheels, yeah.
Or OWs, or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But that is the stepping. That's how you learn how to race high horsepower. I'm not knocking crate cars, but crate cars is a more momentum based
yeah.
racing. And same way with like the 602 Sportsman, it's a momentum based because you got more tire than you got horsepower. In a modified, you have way more horsepower than you got tire.
Modifieds are the hardest car in the world to drive.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
And if you don't believe this, the best late model drivers in the country are former modified hot shoes.
Right.
Ricky Thornton Jr. started in a modified. Bobby Pierce started in a modified. Guess what? That kid they just talked about kicked their ass, Josh Rice, started in a modified.
Yep.
Devin
Gilpin.
Started in a modified. The list goes on and on. Some kid that everybody was raving about that this weekend that made a great run. Dylan Thornton, modified racer.
Right.
Kay Dillard, modified racer.
Yep.
Kyle Strickler. There's
Jimmy
people,
Owens.
Jimmy Owens.
Modified.
Mike Marler, modified racer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there still to this day that didn't know Kyle Strickler was a modified racer.
Yeah. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. But there is, open wheel modified racing, there's a niche for it. It gets a bad rap sometimes because there are some cautions.
Yeah.
But guess what? When you got young kids trying to elevate their career, trying to run, and you're racing high-banked, high-speed racetracks, shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
But when they do get it right, it's some of the best racing that you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah.
When it is right. The IMCA Super Nationals, and that's the reason why we're doing this thing with Racing Dirt. It's going to be a modified thing. We're not going to cover anything else. It's going to be a deal where we just do a modified only snid bid, whatever you want to call it. We don't even know what we're going to call it yet.
Yeah.
The Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series. And this week's upcoming events, we'll start with that. We're going to be there Friday and Saturday. If you're in West Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, Beckley, West Virginia, it's right off the interstate. It's fairly easy to get to from anywhere because if you can get to 77, you can get to the racetrack.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple. It's all interstate for most of the people there.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah, beautiful drive. $2,000 to win on Friday, $4,000 to win on Saturday. And here's the best thing about it. If you are a racer and because we've got a modified guy on this week for a reason, because we've got a big modified event coming up. But if you're a modified racer in West Virginia, the American Racer Stalker medium tire that everybody just went to, there's like 4 tracks, Ohio Valley, Tyler County, West Virginia. They all opened this rule up.
Yeah.
You do not have to buy tires for this event. You can come run this event with the Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series. We're going to run the hard, the extra hard, and the American Racer Medium, which I know it sounds like a different tire, but it's basically the hard with a different tread pattern.
Yeah.
So if you're running that at your track, you don't have to buy tires. Come race with us. We want to grow this series, and we got a race coming up in North Alabama, 2,000 to win, 5,000 to win. I've had Tyler Nicely, Cole Followay, I've had guys reaching out to me this week about that event here in a couple weeks. Good thing about that, this event is going to be sanctioned under One Nation Under Mod rule. The same thing you just seen at the dirt track at the Modified World Championship is the same thing. So if you guys are USRA cars and you're from Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, come run. You run your American Racer hard. I don't even know the number. I think it's 4470, whatever the number is. Run your 5-inch spoiler. Everything's the same. UMP style cars like our cars. We run our tires and we run a 3-inch spoiler. So it evens out. But we're trying to grow this. We're trying to, make this a series that guys wants to race with. And just going forwards. If you have any questions about the series, reach out to Matt. Reach out to myself. Reach out to Kurt.
Yeah.
We will get you the answers if you got any questions about the series. But we appreciate everybody that's raced with us, and we're trying to grow the series. So this week's upcoming events, we just started off with what we're doing, but the Hell Tour starts this week. So every night of the week, Tuesday, Brownstown Bull Ring, Wednesday, Kankakee, Thursday, I believe, Peoria, Friday, Tri-City, Saturday, Fairbury.
Yeah.
So every night of the week, the Hell Tour started, late models and mods. It's on Dirt Vision. High Limit Tuesday night is at Eagle Raceway. High Limit will be on Flow. Eagle Raceway is one of those racetracks you have to watch.
Yep, Eagle's awesome.
So if you don't have two TVs available Tuesday night, flip back and forth.
Yeah.
Because Brownstown Bull Ring is badass and Eagle is badass. Wednesday, the United States Modified Touring Series are at the Fayette County Speedway in Iowa. That is on Racing Dirt. So guys, reach out to our friends at Racing Dirt. The subscription, I believe it's like $21 a month or $160 a year.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on the prices, but it's somewhere right around in there. They have all the USMTS races, all the Heartland Modified Tour races, all the Northern Light Modified Tour races. So everything that races west of the Mississippi, you get that on Racing Dirt.
Yeah.
But there's no tour like the United States Modified Touring Series is the top premier tour for modified.
Yeah, it's like we can,
It's
like
the Lucas Oil.
of,
It's the Lucas Oil of modifieds.
Yeah.
So that's and all the races are covered on that. Friday and Saturday, Lucas Oil late models are at Smoky Mountain. I think for 10 and or 12 and 30,000.
I think so, yeah.
And then Friday and Saturday, the United States Modified Touring, they're at the USA Nationals, Cedar Lake, Wisconsin. That's on Racing Dirt. I know we didn't talk much sprint cars this week, but World of Outlaw sprint cars are at Knoxville coming up Friday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You know anything about Knoxville and World of Outlaw sprint cars?
Yeah.
Probably going to be close to 70-ish cars there.
Yeah.
So you might want to get out and check it out. And that's another thing, too, about Eagle. Eagle is 2 hours from Knoxville.
Yeah.
So the high limit race is probably going to have a hell of a field, too.
Yep, probably so.
So we got 3 good wing sprint
Kind of works
car
out
races.
good when those tracks are close together like that.
When they all work together. So
Yeah.
that's this week. That's it for this week's show. Like, comment, subscribe, tell people about us.
Yeah.
Last week's episode, it's pretty amazing. We're averaging a little bit over 5,000 each week.
Yeah.
Last week's episode with Vic Hill, it was right there at like 5,400. So we were close. YouTube numbers are starting to grow just a little bit. So if the YouTube numbers can catch up with the Spotify and iHeartRadio, we might be onto something, Flash.
Yeah.
We haven't been doing this 4 years, but we might figure something out if we can grow those numbers.
That's right.
But we appreciate everybody for listening each and every week and spreading the word. Word of mouth is the best advertisement, and you guys are doing a hell of a job at that. Thank you. We appreciate you telling people about us, and you can find us. And pay attention to our social media, our Facebook page, the Trading Sliders podcast page, the Trading Sliders podcast group. We will have some videos coming out from the races this weekend. Until next time, we'll be Trading Sliders.